Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to give you the detailed breakdown for the 6D ATR-2 helmet available at RevZilla.com. So the Dash 2 is now the newer version of the ATR-1. That was a helmet that was released in 2013, so the refinements that we're seeing to the ATR-2 have been 5 years in the making from 6D. And remember, 6D gets their name from 6 degrees of rotational impact protection. This is that manufacturer that really strives to give you that low-speed rotational impact, the kind of crashes that you're going to see in the dirt. Now this helmet, the price hasn't changed, but it still is a pricey premium lid. This is coming in around the $695 price point. If you want to make it simple for yourself, you can round that to $700. Now, the fact that you're getting a lot of refinement here, but you're not seeing a price increase, is the biggest feature set for me for the 6D ATR-2, because a lot of the refinement here is stuff that's going to help to keep you safer as well as more comfortable. So straight out of the gate, what you're going to see is a tri-composite shell. 3 different shell sizes are available. It is a DOT EC rated helmet, so for you dual sport guys out there that are riding street and dirt, this will work for you because it does have that DOT rating. The first real change that we're going to hit on is the weight reduction. They've shaved 6 ounces off of this helmet, and it feels so much lighter when you pick it up. You're now looking at 2 pounds 15 ounces in a small, and it gives you a much lighter feel. I mean, this helmet does feel much more premium by shaving that extra weight off. Still intermediate oval fit, and what that means for you, a little bit longer front to back, a little bit narrower down the side of the head, and it is going to work for the majority of you riders out there in the American market. Now, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, what is that weird thing over there by your left hand, Spurgie? That is a cutout of the new ATR-2, and this is going to allow us to show you the inside of what's really changed. So the weight savings is just step 1. So what I'm going to do right now is get into the meat and potatoes, because this is the most important thing that we're seeing. So I'm going to shift this little guy over, and we're going to pull this little guy to the forefront. So the main changes you're going to see to this are the inside of the helmet. First thing you'll notice is you now have 2 different inside parts of the shell that are going to keep you safe. The outside part is going to be done in an EPP material. This is softer than a traditional EPS, and this is going to be able to take multiple impacts. The inside is going to be done in a traditional EPS. This is still that traditional, one impact and it's done, which is, pretty much same across the board throughout all helmets. The one thing that you're going to see now is that this is replaceable. So this is a $700 helmet. If you were to go down and you were to crash to the point where you damage the inside can be removed and replaced. Now, the one caveat here is that if you hit so hard, you damage the outside of the shell, you can't do that. But what you can do is if you hit it to the point where you just damage the inside but not the outside, I'm not exactly sure how that happens. I've crashed a lot, and typically I'm going to damage the outside first. But if you do, you can have the inside replaced. It's going to run you about $150 to $200 from 6D. Now, the other thing you'll notice, in addition to the actual materials changing, is that the omnidirectional suspension system has changed. So you have 2 different little areas in here. You have low friction discs, there are the orange, and they just help the entire thing to kind of hold into place while it's moving on the isolators. And the isolators are these little rubberized things here, and that's what gives you the motion. And you'll notice that they're now all held together by this, kind of transparent white strap system that works throughout the helmet. That's what allows them to replace this. So everything is now going to be held together on this low friction plane design, and this just gives you that rotational impact, but now with 2 different materials. And that EPP material, the softer material, is going to run all the way down the chin bar. So as we take a look at the inside of this, we're going to switch back over to the other helmet to give you the inside of this particular lid. But again, the main changes you're seeing, if you're keeping track, 6 ounces lighter, new construction on the inside of this, and changes to the omnidirectional suspension system. Those are your main points of change. Now, from a venting system, you're still getting 11 vents with this. The one thing that I would note, these are tiny vents. I mean, you've got vents up top, vents in the back, but really my first nitpick with this helmet is that I would love to see larger channels for the vents coming through. If you're out there really riding this off-road, it's gonna be really easy to clog those up, and then getting them to free up from dirt, you have to wait till you get home, run an air gun through the inside to blow that dirt back out. So we'd love to see some larger vents. One of the things they have changed is the peaks on the top. You now have additional cutouts for air passing through, so it reduces the lift that you're seeing from the peak on this particular helmet. The other nitpick that I have with 6D is these are large helmets. If you already have a big head and you're feeling like no matter what helmet you wear, you look like a bobblehead, 6D is not going to do anything to change that problem for you. But the fact that they've reduced the weight makes the helmet feel a lot less bulky. So that being said, let's move along to the inside. You do have the quick release emergency cheek pads, so the cheek pads pull right out. The other thing you'll note as we pull this liner out is that you are going to have snaps on the inside. It's not a brow mounted liner, so you do have the little snaps on the outside. Now, I didn't notice any real push points. A lot of times when you mount helmets like this, you get a little bit of a discomfort in the inside. I didn't notice that with this, but it is something to keep in mind. You do have massive cutouts throughout the inside liner to help promote that airflow. So even though I would have liked to have seen larger cutouts in the front of the helmet, you do have those cutouts to promote the airflow once you get to the inside. Now, we talk about that EPP. That EPP is a softer material, and they're going to run that all the way along the inside of the chin bar. And this is a great feature because if you do happen to hit so hard that you're smashing the front of your face, the extra soft material there is going to be a better material to have to keep you safe than if they were to candy coat this with a polymer or to run the EPS all the way down and around. So a little bit of extra protection for the money maker up front. You'll also notice you have the channel cutouts throughout that inside EPS, which promotes all the way down. And if I grab this, you can actually see how that rotates, in the fully constructed helmet. So I can grab this and I can actually feel it moving, a few millimeters front, back, side to side. And that's where that level of 6D protection is coming into play. It's that low speed rotational impact that you want to keep you safe in the event of a crash. Now, there's a lot of folks out there utilizing 6D. And if you're looking at, all the great features you had with the ATR-1, all the ATR-2 is doing is taking those features and giving you an even better helmet for the same price. And it's hard to get mad at a company that gives you a better product for the same amount of money. So there's a lot of folks out there utilizing 6D, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, now would be the time to click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, and what that will do is allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting a 6D helmet through its paces in the dirt. If you have more questions for our Gear Geeks as to which helmet is right for you and your style of riding, give them a shout at 877-792-9455 or simply shoot over an email to cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the 6D ATR-2 helmet. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.